brigands have run up these lanes. Keep to the side path. The hamlet is just ahead. Dispatch this thug in brutal fashion, that all may hear of your arrival. As victories mount, so too will resistance. An ambush. Send these vermin a message. The rightful owner has returned, and their kind is no longer welcome. The bigger the beast, the greater the glory. Welcome home, such as it is. This squalid hamlet, these corrupted lands, they are yours now, and you are bound to them. Women and men, soldiers and outlaws, fools and corpses. All will find their way to us now that the road is clear. A mecca of madness and morbidity. Your work begins. The cost of preparedness, measured now in gold, later in blood. Executed with impunity. Confidence surges as the enemy crumbles. Even the cold stone seems bent on preventing passage. Continue the onslaught. Destroy them all. Back to the pit. Ghoulish horrors, brought low and driven into the mud. How quickly the tide turns. Begone, fiend! Impressive. As the fiend falls, a faint hope blossoms. Their formation is broken. Maintain the offensive. Cruel machinations spring to life with a singular purpose. This skirmish may be lost, but the battle may yet be won. In time, you will know the tragic extent of my failings. The fiends must be driven back. And what better place to begin than the seat of our noble line? Another abomination cleansed from our lands. A devastating blow. Executed with impunity. This expedition at least promises success. The way is lit. The path is clear. We require only the strength to follow it. Begone, fiend! Great is the weapon that cuts on its own. How quickly the tide turns. As the fiend falls, a faint hope blossoms. More bones return to rest. Devils remanded to their abyss. The poor caretaker. I fear his long-standing duties here have affected him. Make no mistake, we will face ever greater threats. Our soldiers must be ready. The bellows blast once again. The forge stands ready to make weapons of war. The fiends must be driven back. And what better place to begin than the seat of our noble line? Even the cold stone seems bent on preventing passage. Curious is the trap maker's art, his efficacy unwitnessed by his own eyes. Back to the pit. Begone, fiend! As the fiend falls, a faint hope blossoms. As victories mount, so too will resistance. Press this advantage. Give them no quarter. Confidence surges as the enemy crumbles. Another one falls. A trifling victory, but a victory nonetheless. Room by room, hall by hall. In time, you will know the tragic extent of my failings. Mastery over life and death was chief among my early pursuits. I began in humility, but my ambition was limitless. Who could have divined the prophetic import of something as unremarkable as a twitch in the leg of a dead rat? A devil walks these halls. Only the mad or the desperate go in search of him. Begone, fiend! Executed with impunity. Ghoulish horrors, brought low and driven into the mud. Continue the onslaught. Destroy them all. Press this advantage. Give them no quarter. Their formation is broken. Maintain the offensive. Another one falls. Back to the pit. Eradicated. As the fiend falls, a faint hope blossoms. Even the cold stone seems bent on preventing passage. The way is lit. The path is clear. We require only the strength to follow it. Towering, fierce, terrible. Nightmare-made material. A powerful blow. With no living sinew to actuate them, will these walking bones finally fail? Remind yourself that overconfidence is a slow and insidious killer. I remember days when the sun shone and laughter could be heard from the tavern. Once again, the stars are right. Wounds to be tended, lessons to be learned. I see something long absent in the sunken faces of passers-by. A glimmer of hope. Once again, the stars are right. Ignorance of your enemy and of yourself will invariably lead to defeat. Death and demise. Cause for celebration. Pace out the halls of your lineage once familiar, now foreign. decimated. Their formation is broken. Maintain the offensive. As victories mount, so too will resistance. The match is struck. A blazing star is born. Confidence surges as the enemy crumbles. Press this advantage. Give them no quarter. Continue the onslaught. Destroy them all. As the fiend falls, a faint hope blossoms. Even the cold stone seems bent on preventing passage. Masterfully executed. The blood quickens. Ghoulish horrors, brought low and driven into the mud. Success so clearly in view. Or is it merely a trick of the light? The shifted corridors and sloped walls of our ancestry are beginning to feel familiar. All the decadent horrors I have seen pale in comparison to that final, crowning thing. I could not look, nor could I look away. The fiends must be driven back. And what better place to begin than the seat of our noble line? As the fiend falls, a faint hope blossoms. Prodigious size alone does not dissuade the sharpened blade. Even the cold stone seems bent on preventing passage. Begone, fiend! Press this advantage. Give them no quarter. Continue the onslaught. Destroy them all. Another one falls. Confidence surges as the enemy crumbles. Another abomination cleansed from our lands. Be wary. Triumphant pride precipitates a dizzying fall. Room by room, hall by hall. The preponderance of rare and exotic injuries makes this place perfect for the study of suffering. Excavations beneath the manor were well underway when a particularly ragged indigent arrived in the hamlet. This filthy, toothless miscreant boasted an uncanny knowledge of my ambitions and prognosticated publicly that, left unchecked, I would soon unleash doom upon the world. The echoes of his mindless tittering reverberate maddeningly. Even the cold stone seems bent on preventing passage. press this advantage. Give them no quarter. Dazed, reeling, about to break. How quickly the tide turns. As the fiend falls, a faint hope blossoms. Their formation is broken. Maintain the offensive. Continue the onslaught. Destroy them all. Remind yourself that overconfidence is a slow and insidious killer. Begone, fiend! Masterfully executed. Confidence surges as the enemy crumbles. As victories mount, so too will resistance. The way is lit, the path is clear. We require only the strength to follow it. Another one falls. Well struck. Success so clearly in view. Or is it merely a trick of the light? The madman hides there, behind the pews, spouting his mindless drivel. Teetering on the brink, facing the abyss. another life wasted in the pursuit of glory and gold. As life ebbs, terrible vistas of emptiness reveal themselves. A singular strike. More dust, more ashes, more disappointment. Did he foresee his own demise? I care not, so long as he remains dead. In time, you will know the tragic